Governor Rankin urging residents to get vaccinated following recent spike in COVID-19 cases.
Fashion designer Kristin Frazer of Trefle Designs collaborates with two BVI artists to release capsule collection at Summer Sizzle BVI 2021.
Premier Andrew Fahie clears the air by assuring residents that all funds awarded in the recent stimulus programs are accounted for.
And also in today's news, another day of COI hearings. They continued today with interviews from Myron V Walwyn, Mrs. Erica Smith-Penn, and Mrs. Sheila Brathwaite. All this and so much more when 284 News returns.
The win!
What the hell?
I'm freaking out!
Jennifer is about these people.
It's always a pleasure coming to you live and direct from the
What's poppin'? What's really good?
Davis has won it for the Lakers!
Welcome everyone, it's Thursday, July 1st, 2021. I'm Kamal Haynes.
And I'm Ron Grant. We're coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the beautiful British Virgin Islands. From Virgin Gorda, Tortola, Jos Van Dyke, and of course Anegada, we've got you covered. Thank you so much for sticking with us, and a happy Thursday to one and all. Before we get into our newscast, just touching on a few summary items. Of course, Premier goes on a defensive amid damaging audit reports. Also, the Honorable Kai Reimer, says private and public roads can be built at the same time. In addition to that, we're tracking two weather systems that have formed, one showing signs of much development, and the government's confusion over the restricted access to the bats for residents causes much concern to residents. Of course, July 3rd, viewers, is the last day to receive your first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine. Co-chair of the vaccine program, Dr. Karl Dawson, has a message for residents. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Karl Dawson, co-chair of the Community Mobilization Vaccination Program by the Government of the Virgin Islands, the Ministry of Health. And I'm here to let you know that July 3rd, coming up, is the last day that you can have yourself vaccinated, the first dose, in order to have time enough to get the second dose within the 4 weeks by July 31st, when the batch that's available here in the British Virgin Islands will be expired. So throughout this entire week, the health services team have made some adjustments. They have made the hours a little bit longer at the Catholic Community Center. They're going to be able to go there from 10 in the morning until 6 in the evening. The hours are a bit expanded on Virgin Gorda, the Nurse Iris O'Neill Clinic, and then at North Song as well. We also can have appointments at Jos Van Dyke and Anegada. R&R Malone Complex is also available, as well as our East End location. This time has been challenging for all of us, but we believe that the way that we are going to have our country back to a sense of normalcy and protect as many persons as possible is for as many persons to be vaccinated as we possibly can. So I encourage you to come out on the days listed, but remember, I'm right here now in Clarence Thomas Limited, and on Saturday, July 3rd, we'll be right here with a team in a very comfortable setting so that you can come and have your vaccination done. And there's some other surprises. I know Bell's Cafe has something in mind, and there may be some other surprises as well for those who wish to come and be vaccinated on that day. So again, do it for yourself, do it for your family, do it for the entire BVI. The vaccination, as the leaders have been saying, COVID-19 is not playing with us, and we can't play with it. And we'd like to thank all our community partners, CTL, Right Way, Pear Park, One Mart, and so many others. And of course, our wonderful team of volunteers who have been assisting us with getting the word out and helping people to become vaccinated. So go out, do not procrastinate, vaccinate.
We turn to news involving the governor. Following the plight of positive COVID-19 cases in the British Virgin Islands, Governor John Rankin is urging residents to rise beyond their fears and get vaccinated. Governor Rankin made a statement on Wednesday, June 30th, after the territory's active positive COVID-19 cases rose from 13 to now 49. The governor said the recent cases of events has caused him to become very concerned. Listen in.
Facilities coming under real strain from the numbers of people needing help. This virus affects everyone, no matter what age, what race, what fitness levels. Indeed, in Anguilla, it was a young, very fit chap under 30 who sadly ended up in hospital.
Governor Rankin said it was important to provide some facts about the vaccine to help dispel some of the circulating stories. Listen in.
There are a lot of stories about the vaccine, but I think it's helpful to provide some facts. No vaccine completely stops you getting a disease, and this vaccine is no different. But, like the other things we do, such as tetanus jabs, it hugely reduces the risk. The AstraZeneca vaccine ensures that if you are unlucky enough to get COVID-19, it will stop you from getting very ill. Research says it is almost 100% protection from hospitalization. COVID is very contagious, and the Delta variant that has been found in neighbouring countries is quickly spreading amongst communities. The vaccine we have available in BVI, the AstraZeneca vaccine, reduces the chance of transmission significantly by almost 90%. So 2 doses of the vaccine will not only protect people from being very sick, it will also really reduce the chance of COVID-19 spreading in the community.
And the governor also said that it is paramount that the territory finds a way to best manage the risk of the COVID-19 virus, especially as the BVI's borders continue to open. He said this can be achieved with more vaccinations in the BVI and encourage residents to take the advice of the medical professionals.
I'm not a doctor, I'm your governor, so I appreciate you may not want to hear my view. I understand that. But I urge you to listen to the medical doctors in the territory, all of whom have been fully vaccinated. They are the most qualified to advise us all, as they understand and examine the science, monitor the results and manage the risk. We currently have good supplies of the AstraZeneca vaccine available in the BVI, and I want to encourage you all, if you haven't yet done so, to really consider that now is the time to get vaccinated. Please don't wait and see, as that approach may sadly mean you or a loved one ends up in hospital. If you have your first shot on or before this coming Saturday, you can get your second shot before the end of July, which will give the very best protection. But even having your first shot will still help to protect you, your colleagues and families.
And persons who are yet to get their first dose of the vaccine are being reminded that the current batch of vaccines in the territory expires on July 31st. Therefore, residents who are interested in getting vaccinated with their first dosage will have to do so by Saturday, July 3rd.
Kamal, we definitely encourage residents to take precautions and do what is necessary to make sure that they are fully protected. Continuing on, the British Virgin Islands has received strong backing by the United Nations Special Committee on Decolonization regarding the self-governance of the territory and its right to self-determination at the recently concluded session of the C24 at UN headquarters from the 14th to 25th of June 2021. Now, when addressing the question of the British Virgin Islands, the committee heard an official statement on the 4th of June 2020 in New York by Dr. the Honorable Natalio D. Wheatley, the BVI's Deputy Premier and Minister for Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, Fisheries, and Agriculture. Now, Honorable Wheatley updated the committee on the BVI's relationship with the United Kingdom, development assistance provided to the BVI from within the UN system, and the impact of COVID-19 on the society. Now, regarding the BVI's relationship with the UK, the Deputy Premier said, and I quote, "The BVI's concerns previously expressed to this committee at the 2019 Regional Seminar on Decolonization and June substantive sessions remain valid. In some areas, the concerns are even more pronounced than before. Our position," he said, "is clear. The BVI must be allowed to exercise the maximum exit of self-governance possible under the territory's constitution." Now, this was the intent of the constitutional reform when the BVI and UK negotiated and agreed the Virgin Islands Constitution Order 2007. There seems to be a growing trend of the governor either to refuse or delay in assenting to bills passed by the legislature for reasons other than what we are conventionally used to. The Honorable Wheatley's statement was staunchly supported by the Antigua and Barbuda, who is the current chair of the Alliance of Small Island States and incoming chair of CARICOM, His Excellency Dr. Walton Webston, Antigua and Bermuda's permanent representative to the UN. He stressed the importance of self-governance in the BVI and upholding of the territory's right to self-determination. Now, he also expressed deep concern about the administering power not respecting established arrangements within the BVI. He said, and I quote, "We are concerned with the recent matters that would suggest that the government of the United Kingdom does not always fully respect the principles of self-governance, self-determination, and the boundaries agreed upon with the long-standing arrangement between the United Kingdom government and the British Virgin Islands." Now, the permanent representative to the UN also reiterated CARICOM's concerns about the manner in which the current UK-backed Commission of Inquiry was announced regarding whether there has been abuse of office in the BVI, among other things. Ambassador Webster referred to the official position of CARICOM, in which the heads of government stated that they are dismayed at the manner in which the COI was established with no consultation or prior communication between the UK government and the duly elected government of the British Virgin Islands. Now, in closing, Ambassador Webster called on the C-24 to dispatch a visiting mission to the British Virgin Islands before the end of the year. And at the close of its June substantive session, the C-24 adopted a draft resolution on the BVI that includes, among other things, the following clauses, and I quote, "reaffirms the abilities and rights of the people of the British Virgin Islands to self-determination in conformity with the Charter of the United Nations and with the General Assembly Resolution," that's number 1514, containing the declaration of granting of independence to colonial countries and peoples. This statement also reaffirms that in the process of decolonization of the British Virgin Islands, there is no alternate to the principle of self-determination, which is also a fundamental human right as recognized under the relevant human rights conventions. Kamal, we continue to see the conversation not only locally but regionally as well as it pertains to the BVI and self-determination. Of course, many conversations, and we are at this point, and we are going to continue to keep you posted on this, viewers.
Well, still ahead, Premier Andrew Fahie clears the air by assuring residents that all funds awarded in the recent stimulus programs are accounted for. All this and so much more after a word from our sponsors.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Well, viewers, welcome back. Our Premier Andrew Fahie has said that all funds awarded to individuals in the various stimulus grant programs can fully be accounted for. But the Premier's comments follow the recent developments from the ongoing Commission of Inquiry, where an audit which was conducted by Auditor General Sonia Webster on one of the programs revealed a number of discrepancies. Well, according to Webster, an audit on the Farmer Stimulus Grant Program found that nearly 49% of the monies awarded in the program, which amounted to more than $1.4 million, went to persons who were not registered as farmers in the Agriculture Database of Registered Farmers. But Premier Fahie, who was speaking on the Virgin Islands Party Let's Talk radio show following the claims, assured residents that all monies allocated have already been accounted for. Listen in.
To state that that your government, and I must tell the people of the Virgin Islands this tonight, gives you, the public of the Virgin Islands, the full assurance that all funds, and when I say all, I mean all funds, for all stimulus grants given out to the public can be fully accounted for and is already fully accounted for. And all I can say at this time is that time will reveal the truth.
Well, the Premier also said that he carries no disrespect or hard feelings towards the Auditor General and her role, as it is an important element of good governance in the BVI. However, he said that audits don't always paint an accurate picture of certain programs, especially in cases where all the relevant information is not present during the audit.
Of the Auditor General that that your government respects the role of the Internal Audit Department and the Auditor General's office, as we do all for all the statutory offices. It's a very crucial component of good governance. But audits represent a snapshot picture at a given point in time. Therefore, at a different point in time, the picture can change as the available information changes. The validity and accuracy of an audit report also depends on the data that is analyzed to come to the findings and conclusion. If the information is incomplete, then it will not show the whole picture. So if all the data was not analyzed, or all of the data was not available to be analyzed, given whether it is be in terms of availability, then the conclusion of the report has to be approached with caution, because the analysis is not based on all the data.
Well, the Premier also revealed some of the data from recipients of the program and said that 98% of valid applicants received some form of assistance. Listen in.
1,226 small and micro businesses received economic stimulus grants between $1,591 to $7,954 to help them survive COVID-19, so they can reopen now that things are a bit improved with managing the pandemic and rebooting the economy. And I want to say over 98% of the businesses that submitted valid applications received grants either under the small business stimulus or another one of the programs, as some persons had multiple businesses and submitted multiple applications to more than one program. Some 201 farmers and 207 fisher folk were awarded grants ranging from $9,000 to $22,500 to enhance their ability to produce food to service local demand and enhance the territory's food security in the longer run. And I'd like to say there, with this, in terms of the information, time will definitely tell.
Yes.
105 taxi drivers were able to obtain measure of livelihood through the Park and Ride initiative in Rotown, which was your idea, Minister Reimer. But 105 taxi drivers benefited from that in a time when there was no economic activity for taxi drivers. And I commend you there.
And there you have it, viewers. Premier Fahie clearing the air on the recent allegations involving himself and his office. Ron, as you can see, the Premier and the obviously responded to some very critical allegations that can be very damaging to him.
One of the things that we find very interesting, Kamal, with this is this has been an issue that we've seen come up before with the Auditor General. Earlier today in the COI, former Education Minister Myron V Walwyn also brought similar claims as to the lack of information that is presented in audit. So I think it's something that perhaps we need to look at cohesively, and I think this is ideally the perfect time with the COI coming and really highlighting some of the inaccuracies that we have in our systems. But there seems to be a huge disconnect with the Auditor General and documentation being prepared from different ministries, and then later on what is being presented. I think it's important for the territory to have a clear picture, and that the Auditor General's office is provided with the necessary tools needed to really execute her duties.
And one of the main highlights of that obvious proceeding, you know, would have been your interview.
Oh,
where you
definitely,
would have
yes.
Interviewed him sometime, believe it would have been probably a year before or so.
Correct.
And that's very big for us at 284 News.
Absolutely. Clearly, the COI does not think that our news is fake, and they thought it necessary to focus on that. So continuing on, viewers, BVI fashion designer Kristin Frazer to join forces with internationally collected abstract artist, the talented Roma Harrigan Osoa. She is a rising BVI creative, as well as Miss Alexia Penn. Now, ARK, short for Alexia, Roma, and Kristin, will launch their From Canvas to Fashion ARK 6-piece capsule collection, celebrating the power of vibrant and inspired art paired with bold and beautiful design. Now, the collaboration with Kristin's initiative really fulfilling her design to merge her talents with both an established and rising BVI artist. ARK will also highlight other Caribbean designers during their launch, with luxury footwear that fuses authentic with luxury and, of course, exotic luxuries of the Virgin Islands. Designer Stella Mays of Stella Hughes BVI Accessories, designer Jashima Leonard of Jewel Eyewear, as well as handmade luxury jewelry created by Petra Gay Chong of Immuna collection out of Jamaica. They're going to be joining the ladies as well. Now, From Canvas to Fashion by ARK will launch and be featured during the Summer Sizzle Global Glamour Runway Show, being held, of course, at the Multipurpose Sports Complex on Saturday, July 24th, 2021 at 7:30 p.m. Of course, the VIP tickets for the Global Glamour Runway Show are available for purchase starting at $100, and regular tickets are $40. Now, Summer Sizzle BVI, if you did not know, is the Caribbean's premier fashion and lifestyle event held annually in the British Virgin Islands. It is a highly anticipated event attracting fashion and travel influencers, press, celebrities, entertainers, leisure tourists, and water sports enthusiasts. The 12th consecutive affair is scheduled for July 21st to 26th, 2021. With this beauty tropical venue serving as a backdrop, they all come eager to experience this spectacular event, and we wish them much success.
Well, up next, Speaker of the House of Assembly Julian Willock says he has new information which proves he was not in breach of his duties regarding his Register of Interest applications. All this and more after a word from our sponsors.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Well, viewers, welcome back. Well, Speaker of the House of Assembly Julian Willock has said that he has new information regarding his Register of Interest applications, which clears his name from previously announced breaches. Willock brought the document to a media briefing on Wednesday, June 30th, after he said he made several requests through his attorney to the Commission of Inquiry, Sir Gary Hickenbottom, to present the new information to the Commission of Inquiry. Well, he said after being deferred on many occasions, he felt it necessary to hold a press conference to present this new information to the public to clear his name.
I want the record to show what was put together. I did the professional thing by writing to the Commissioner via Silk Legal on the 24th June 2021 with my new evidence. In my letter, I humbly but politely request to return to present orally the new information. Their response was, they will get back to me. A few days later, I reminded my attorney again that I needed to see the one-man commissioner to return to present my new evidence. They said again they will get back to me. To date, over a week later, I have not received word on presenting to them my new evidence, hence the reason for this press conference to share the information with the public.
Willock said that critical documents were left out of his Commission of Inquiry bundle, which would have shown that he was in full compliance of his mandatory requirement. Listen in.
The record must show that on May 21st, 2019, Appendix B, and you'll see that in your bundle, it's behind the Appendix A, I received a letter from the Register of Interest in which she attached the form to be filled, seeing that the letter received from me on March 12, 2019, my declaration did not follow according to her the format. Now, this information was quite interestingly left out of my bundle. What appeared in my bundle was, you will see in the other paragraph where the form was actually filled out on January 22nd, 2020 in Appendix C. That is what was in my bundle. So my first letter on my anniversary, the day I was sworn in, to the Register of Interest Act was so miraculously left out of my bundle. The letter from the Register of Interest telling me that while she received my letter, I needed to fill out a form. Again, miraculously left out of my bundle. But what appeared in my bundle was me filling out the form a couple months later.
Willock also presented documents for each of the following years, which he says show that he exhibited good faith intention on each of his March 12th anniversary dates to ensure that the Registrar of Interest had something from him on file. Listen in.
Now come 2021, we got a reminder letter on the 24th of February 2021, and then on March 3rd 2021 I made my declaration, and that can be seen in Appendix K, where everything was filled out on time in 2021. So I didn't repeat any of the other mistakes where in 2019 I didn't know there was a form, although I registered on March 12th. In 2020 I didn't know that you still had to fill the form out, although I sent something in saying there was no change. So all along, if one wants to be fair, you will see there was good faith intention on each of the anniversary dates to ensure that the Commissioner of the Registrar of Interest had something from me on file. And we could argue about technicality, okay, she didn't get it 1 year, or maybe you didn't fill the right form. But what is important here, and what was strategically left out during the public hearing by the one-man commissioner, Mr. Hickenbottom, was that each of the anniversary date in question, 2019, 2020, and even now 2021, which everything went smooth in 2021 after the 2 hiccups. But what is important here is that the 2 years prior, on March 12th, the anniversary date, there were information sent to the Register of Interest.
Well, there you have it, viewers. Speaker of the House, Julian Willock, presenting his case before the public.
And speaking of the Honourable Speaker of the House of Assembly, the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, United Kingdom, delivered a series of well-needed virtual training sessions for members of the House of Assembly. The training, which took place on the 14th, 21st, and 20th of June 2021, was really designed to ensure that all members of the House of Assembly in the Virgin Islands continue to be well-equipped to effectively carry out their parliamentary duties more than 2 years since they were first elected or appointed. Now, the 3-session program was structured to build on the knowledge and skills gained at the House of Assembly members over the past 2 years, reflecting, of course, upon the challenges and opportunities they have experienced since first becoming a member of the House of Assembly. Sessions covered a broad range of topics relevant to their role of parliamentarians, including fostering cross-party and government relationships, working, of course, effectively with the clerks, parliamentary procedure and scrutiny, of course, the role of select committees and diplomatic and communication skills, attending trainings in the House of Assembly conference room where Speaker of the House of Assembly, Julian Willock, Deputy Speaker, the Honorable Neville Smith, Minister for Transportation, Kai Reimer, and also Natural Resources, Labor, Immigration Minister Vincent Wheatley, along with Minister for Health and Social Development, the Honorable Carvin Malone. That also included Territorial At-Large Representative Shari B. DeCastro and the Honorable Shireen Flax Charles. Now, Kamal, this training, believe it or not, comes years after these elected officials have actually been in office, but we saw over the COI process where many of them credited a lot of the breaches that were coming about because of a lack of training. So I think it's well needed that they're now coming to the point where they are seeking and engaging in training for House of Assembly members. I trust that this will allow them to better execute their jobs, and we do continue to wish all of our representatives the very best. Yes, indeed, and you would have seen the Honorable Shireen and also Honorable Premier Andrew Fahie calling for special sessions or special training sessions for these members in light of, you know, some of these events wouldn't have I guess they wouldn't have been prepared enough to know exactly what documents or what needed to be done in that role, especially for a number of first-time legislators. Yes. And there you have it, and that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news at 284media.com. Like us on Facebook at 284media.com and on 284media on Instagram and Twitter at 284BVI. I'm Kamal Haynes. And I'm Ron Grant. It's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Have a beautiful rest of the day and a happy Thursday. Take it easy. Bye-bye.